Has this farm met your expectations?
Miles has exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a one in a million place here. But I can't say that because I've only been to 2 WWOOF hosts. So I mean, the 2 I've been to have been amazing in different ways. But
amazing, made some really amazing connections.
Yeah.
But this place has been very unique in what I expect out of woofing, but also kind of stereotypical of what I expect out of woofing. Like we all shop together, we cook meals together, and we eat together. We do. I was talking about this with Gabriella, but we spend almost every waking moment together.
Yeah.
And sometimes we like sleep in all the yurt, and we all sleep in the yurt together.
And that happens because of a communal kitchen.
Yeah. Totally.
And I love that. I realize that if you don't have a communal kitchen, like where you either eat this food here in the kitchen or you buy your own, like, and you're on your own for food, like,
creates a good
everyone
space.
is going to be in here all the time at some point, you know?
I like it. It like forces us to hang out even if we don't want to. And like luckily all of us want to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And
yes.
something about the lack of personal spaces to hang out. Like you have your tent or you have your or whatever, but other than that, you're like hanging out in the kitchen, you know, and everyone's in the winery or in the kitchen, and I like that. I
think it's an important part of a WWOOF setting.
Yeah, to have a community
if
space.
If that's what you're aiming for, if this type of thing, the communal space is what you're looking for.
I think this is what woofing is about.
Yeah,
you know.
I think I had a little more expectation of when I left. I had this idea that I was just gonna learn so much about organic farming, and like I have learned so many other things other than farming, like doing this. That has just blown my mind. Like I had my main expectation doing this was to learn a lot about farming, so I could farming and gardening and different practices and homesteading and things like that. So I could take these practices and make them my own. You know, take them and use them in my own way. Yes, and
we're gonna do with them.
Yes, and I have done very little of actual details of that so far, but like I have made so many more connections and networking and realized that those details are the least of your worries.
Yeah. Like, I've learned a lot less about actual farming techniques.
Yes,
the actual details. Like people and their lifestyles and how to communicate it and get what you want out of the world.
Yeah.
Good life skills to have.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about life skills and what it takes, like more what a farmer needs life skill wise than like the knowledge that they need to have. You know, because knowledge and information is easy to find nowadays. Like you can find the right information relatively easily, but having that life skill and that people skill is way more difficult.
Like if you just had this vineyard, you do. You just had this vineyard and like it's beautiful. You make all this great wine and you make olive oil and you do all these things, but you might have every little detail down and make all the best stuff, but if you don't have anybody here or anybody sharing it like this, you don't have the community, like it doesn't seem like very much at all.
Yeah, even if you're making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like you can make a ton of money and make awesome wine, but if people aren't here to share it with you, then it's not as fulfilling.
Yes.
You know?
I feel like that's why Miles does it. That's why Miles has 9 WWOOFers right now when like we totally don't need it, but
he has a great way of bringing people together.
Yes.
Like he finds he just gravitates towards a certain kind of person, and we've got a really good group here.
Yeah,
I really like it. But yeah, I think this place has definitely exceeded my expectations. And before I got here, I thought that we were just gonna help harvest grapes, and I assumed that we would be the only people here.
Yep.
You know, like us and maybe another person, and it's been like a huge group of people.
Literally, it's been growing since we got here.
Yeah, which pushed the limits of what I thought that I could handle with woofing. You know, I was like thinking before everyone got here that like even 6 people was too many. Like a lot of people to feed and to hang out with and just to share these spaces with. And
seems like a lot of people to be around all the time, you know, but it's totally not.
10 people has been so awesome to be around, and
I
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We don't have big mountains, obviously, in Wisconsin. And so, like, there's just, like, driving here, I was on the bus, and most of the time I was traveling at night. But when I was on the bus, it was, like, really early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, and I was like, whoa. And it was so beautiful already. And then, like, Joanne came and picked me up, and it just, like, got more and more beautiful as she was driving. I was like, what the heck? And all I was, I guess, really expecting was, like, they were going to teach me about the farm, and, like, it'd be, like, cool and chill, and I'd probably, like, hang out alone a lot, like, and in a vineyard, and I know some things about grapes. I guess like that's kind of all I expected. And then yeah, she drove me up and it was super beautiful and everyone was really cool, and then they offered me commodities right away that seemed pretty extravagant and awesome and unexpected. And I was like, wow, you know, this is pretty so no, I did not. I guess I didn't expect this. Like, you know what I mean? Like an environment where like the working is fun. Like it's not like you're on the farm and you're working and then you get to have fun separately. It's like I like all of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the only thing I didn't expect, is to think that the whole thing was rad. Except for that one night where I didn't have blankets and I didn't know it'd be that cold. That wasn't cool. Besides that, it's been cool. Thanks to you. Thanks for that blanket.
You're welcome.
I expected there to be more work, but then just coming kind of in the middle of harvest, I guess that's the thing, because we're not spending too much time on a farm in my life. You really have to understand that you're at the mercy of nature, you know? It's like you want to do other stuff, but you got to kind of just wait for things to be ready. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's been great. I guess, I mean, I'm not mad about not having so much work. Yeah. But like the people have been really cool, and the landscape is more beautiful than I expected it to be. Mm-hmm. And then learning the process. I wasn't sure how much winemaking we would actually be doing, and it seems like we were like really hands-on. So that's been really good, actually.
I think I was pretty lucky finding this particular farm in all aspects. It's very nonchalant. I think it's a very generous place to be in.
Yeah.
The first week it was very sunny, so you wake up and you go out on the fields, and then after like 2 or 3 hours, Joanne, which is the person taking care of us, brings out the lunch, and there's usually 2 bottles of wine with it's actually breakfast, yeah. So at 10 a.m. we have some food and we have some wine, and that kind of sets the mood for the rest of the day. So
Right.
I do realize that it's not going to be like this everywhere. The accommodation is nice, the people are nice. I saw some other woofing places where there was only one woofer, and I think that would be interesting. That would be a very different experience, and maybe nice as well, because you have much more. You really have time to read and learn about yourself, maybe. Whereas here, we're pretty much sitting around all the time, having fun, drinking. Yeah. So it's one of my expectations. I think was I'm going to have lots of time to read and learn things I want to learn about by myself, but ending up on a farm with a lot of people, it's not really happened so far.
I try to not have any expectations because I don't want to get disappointed or too happy or whatever. I have, I don't know, an objective to go to that farm because I want to learn it. Now, because I want to learn the process of wine and everything, and I didn't have big expectations, but I had a lot of hope that it was gonna be nice. You know, it's a very nice environment. The people that are woofing here are really nice people as well. There's a mutual understanding of a community sharing, so that energy is really important for a farm or for a common place for people to coexist, you know. And there is all good intentions here from everyone, so that makes it really a nice place to be.
Yeah.
So you go in the morning, you wake up early, you cut the grapes, you have all your friends around listening to music. One is making food, the other one is making you a cigarette. The other one is having the bottles of wine ready to drink as well, and we just go like that. We're like the the tours. You know how they go to war and like
Yeah.
You know, like that.
I never had an expectation when I went to the winery or anywhere in my woofing experience. I kind of decided that not to expect anything, just go there and be completely open-minded. As abstract as it sounds, I made it possible. But definitely the winery is one of the top experiences I had. Not only because of the place, but also because of the people that were there. Like, it also changes an aspect of the place.
Absolutely.
In the backgrounds of the people and every story that they have. But every single experience from the winery, or every single experience from woofing definitely changed my life. All 9 of them. Every single one of them. I can't say, I wouldn't want to delete one if I could.
What advice would you give to anyone viewing this who might be interested in woofing or, Workaway or doing anything like this for the first time?
I think the only way that you could get in trouble is to like expect that you're gonna know what's going on, like on a day-to-day, to just like have expectations. That's the only way I've been really uncomfortable here, is to have any sort of expectation. I feel like if you get comfortable not knowing, then you're all good and you're gonna have a super fun time wherever you are. Meaning not knowing like if you're gonna need to buy more clothes, or if you're gonna need to get rid of some, or if you're gonna need food, or if you're gonna not, or like if you just like prepare yourself and like by means of just knowing that like you might need and you might lack, or you might have too much of any one thing or experience or whatever, then I feel like you'll be solid. That's all. That's the advice I have. Also, I think you should probably dance, and you should probably ask whoever is around you if they want to dance. Just because sometimes I feel like it gets a little serious. Just need to shake it up.
Yeah.
Mine is stop making excuses. Anyone can make any excuse to not go. And I had so many, it's kind of frustrating a little bit, but you have to understand, because like I was that way also, but like you have so many people when you first go do this that say, oh, I'm so jealous that like you get to go do this. You're so lucky that you get to go travel, and it must be so nice to be so free and all this stuff. It's like, but anyone can do it. You can do that. Like anyone can do this. You don't have to be jealous of me, and I'm not lucky because I chose to do this. I worked hard to do this. Like,
we had awesome jobs before we left.
Luck was no part of it. Like I had
good lifestyles.
I had a lot to deal with before doing that. I had a lot of shit to deal with, like to leave my family and everything I knew behind. Like that was hard, but luck was no part of it, and it's something to strive for. But anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, and we could make every excuse in the book to do it, and we did for a long time. And that's what keeps most people from doing it. And everybody has this idea, and it seems to be that everyone wants to do it. Like anyone who sees you doing it, like
most people
wants to do what you're doing, and like
really want to have an experience like
you
this.
can, like you can do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to think that you can. It's all in your head, and once you decide that you can do it, you can. You can. Like that's all it was. It was a decision, and that was it. Totally. It was a decision. It was making a plan to get to that goal, and just slowly crossing things off that list. And once you got to the end of the list, look at that. We're ready to go. Like we're ready to travel. Like it was as simple as that. And laying out a plan like that, deciding to do something, laying out a plan, and then doing it was also a huge confidence boost for me. And it made me realize I can do that with anything.
I can succeed.
I can use that concept with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And along those same lines, I would definitely say that mine is pack light.
Pack light, my God,
pack on the lighter side rather than on the heavier side. Like we went with the mindset of we have this amount of space, so we should just fill it. But that is
because this is all we own.
Yeah, because this is all we own. We went from having so much crap, so much stuff, to having what's in the car and what's in the camper, and that was it. And it was kind of a nerve-wracking feeling. I felt like I couldn't do it at first. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get rid of all my clothes? How am I going to get rid of all of these things that I think are really important? Like, how am I going to do this? And my mom was willing to take a box into her attic and keep it there with all the stuff that I really felt like I couldn't get rid of.
I can't let go.
I can't do it. So I did that. And other than that, we filled space. And since we've been on the road, it feels like more things are being moved around and shifted around and not being used rather than being used and needed. Like, we have so much crap.
Yes.
I felt so heavy with stuff this entire time. And I would just say pack on the lighter side.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, I would say definitely do it. Just kind of be open to like all the situations. I think if you're questioning doing it, like maybe you're nervous about it, that's more reason to do it, because things that are like make you nervous or uncomfortable are some of the best things that you can do. Help you grow the most. And then I guess just being like super open and like being able to like talk with everybody and get like the most out of your experience. Like, I guess it's not always like that. A lot of times people, I mean, I've never experienced this, but people might stick to themselves. If you can actually just like talk to people, make friends with people, it'll make the experience so much better. Aside from that, like there's just the work, and I think just doing what they ask you to do and try and do it well. But that's with anything. That's just
Work ethic.
it's just work.
Strong work ethic.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like kind of just a feeling you have with particular places. You look up, for myself, places that were very desolate and maybe had me staying in the house together with a family and with no other woofers. That for now I didn't feel comfortable with that, so this is like a super easygoing introduction because there's more people, there's more woofers, and it's not just you and a family. But yeah, I think try to find a nice place that you feel comfortable with and see if the people are excited to have you. And I don't think in California in particular, I don't think people take the piss, and so I like to be quite trusting towards people that they're actually gonna take good care of me, and I think usually they should. Yeah. So yeah, and I guess if you have a positive attitude, then most things in the end will be alright.
I think parents as well should make their kids to do it. Like, if you ask me, it's a great experience. It's a great experience for everyone to understand how important nature is to us and how much of a calm life we can have if we connect with it and we allow ourselves to eat healthy food as well, to understand what's healthy and what's not, what's real and what's not as well, in terms of food and nutrition and everything. So a lot of people are struggling with eating bad and everything. It's because all they've seen in their life is like promotion of, I don't know, chips and Coca-Cola be cheaper. So if you don't have money, you're gonna get these things. I know these things, you know. When I was a kid in Greece and I didn't have a lot of money, I was buying Coca-Cola because it was cheaper. I was buying chips because it was cheaper, just to have more food to keep us going. But then I was like, I can't do that. I prefer to not, you know, like to save money from other place and to spend more money on food rather than rubbish. You know, and here you understand where these things are coming from, the apples, the wine, whatever California is giving us, which is giving us quite a few things actually. Yeah, I think kids, I don't know, for a nice month in summer, the parents can send them here and they can learn something. My experiences with woofing have been really good so far, and at the end of the day, it's the individual that would make any experience to be a good one or a bad one. So we take an individual responsibility as well. Sometimes the environment cannot be good or whatever, but I haven't had any problems. Like, I've really enjoyed everywhere I've been. There's been a nice intention from everyone to contribute by cooking, by sharing, by being genuine to each other without any motives, you know. You know, it's not like a work environment, one will be nice to the other, maybe you get promotion or something like that. It's like, no, here we're cool, we're nice, we don't need to like, you know.
Right.
So I think it would be fantastic for everyone to come.
Start this journey without putting a finish line. Whenever you put time limits, you're actually limited into the experience that you want to have. So be open about time. If you are just starting to travel and you're giving yourself that opportunity to get out of your comfort zone, you know, get out of your circle of friends and kind of like expand yourself, because you know you will. Whenever you travel, whenever you leave your front door, you know you're up to for an adventure. You don't have anything to look for, like it will just come to you. And I think that would be an advice that I would like to have, like be daring, you know, be open about it, just be able to receive. Sometimes there's a lot of pleasure in giving and having expectation and having a plan ahead, but whenever you don't and you let things kind of happen and kind of like have the flow of your traveling without any time limits, I will also say that you need to be open change and just be daring and be a little, I don't know how to say it, like naughty within yourself. Like just let yourself loose and go. And I think that's when the true growth also comes, because you're not trying to control or plan whatever your experience is all about, because the place will give you the experience, the people will give you a different aspect of whatever you're looking for or planning. So let it flow and just be able to receive all the experience. It's brave to travel if you think about it. And maybe that's why not a lot of people find this type of life amusing, because it takes a lot to travel. You have to leave people behind, leave your comfort zone behind, leave your home, leave, I don't know, people you care about for something that you really don't know, something unexpected, something new. Every woofing experience has an opening door of a home, a house, you know, like of a history between those walls. And it's not just of the type of work that you have to do or the time of work. It's where are you doing it and for what purposes are you there. And if you really connect to the place's history and the people's story, then it will matter way more than just passing by or just being there for the traveling experience. Because traveling experience is nothing if you really don't connect and if you really don't understand the place and get to know the story that the place is trying to tell you, you know. So the only way to really learn that is by connecting with the people that are living there. That's culture, that's connection, that's true connection. And not everybody has that like little spark, you know, like, hey, I want to know what's out there, like life. So a different reality depends on what type of path you want to have in your life. There's no right or wrong path. It's just whether it's your calling, then listen to it, you know. Like if you actually are daring and you have that idea, I want to travel, I want to see what's out there, listen to yourself. Absolutely. And listen to it fast, because time also is a factor there, you know. Like the more time you lose, and the more time you're kind of like priving yourself from getting to know so many different layers of the person you are.